Insert clever intro here.
Yay! Clever intro time. Clever intro time. And this is Drawing Conclusions. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jessica.
Today we're reviewing Bohemian Rhapsody, starring Rami Malek and Lucy Boynton and a whole bunch of other people.
Yeah, a whole bunch of other people.
Yep. Lots of other people were in the show, not just those two.
And Bohemian Rhapsody is a biopic about Freddie Mercury,
Right.
lead singer of Queen. And what'd you think of the movie, Josh?
I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. I'm a fan of Queen, and so this is something of interest to me.
I didn't know you liked the royal family.
I do love the royal family. The weddings, the pageantry.
Oh, wait, you're a fan of the band Queen, not the Queen. Got it.
Did I say the Queen?
No, okay. I'm just being dumb.
That's okay. I'm glad I didn't say the Queen because that could have happened. Anyway, I'm a fan of the band Queen. One of my older brothers had a bunch of their albums when I was growing up, and so I listened to that stuff among other things. And I don't know, something about their music I really like.
Yeah.
Along with a bunch of other people who feel the same way.
Right. Millions of people.
Millions of other people.
Queen is great.
Anyway, I thought this movie was really good. I thought Rami Malek did a really good job as Freddie Mercury. He was very convincing. I know he didn't sing in the role, but, come on. How could you really possibly do Freddie Mercury?
No, nobody. Only Freddie Mercury can sing Freddie Mercury.
But he brought it in the stage presence and the stuff away from the stage and the recordings and the songs and stuff. Yeah. He really brought it to life.
When he was performing, the scenes when Queen was performing and Freddie was singing.
Yeah, he's very believable.
It felt like he was doing it. You didn't think, oh, that guy's not really singing.
No, I thought he was really great in the role. The story covers a pretty, I guess narrow...
About 15 years.
Yeah, a narrow band of his life. He wasn't very old when he passed away.
No, only 45.
Right.
We're almost 45.
Shh, quiet about that.
It's years away.
Right.
But it's
years
on the horizon.
Nah, shush. Anyway, but covering to me, what seemed to be like his most important relationships. If you don't know much about Freddie Mercury or the band Queen, I recommend going and checking it out. And if you're new to their music, check that out too. It's really good stuff. Yeah. It really is. All in all, I did enjoy this movie. I thought, I don't know, I had a good time.
Right.
Having a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I thought the performances were really strong throughout. I feel like the casting was really good.
Yes.
They did a good job finding people who could act, but who also looked
the part,
like the band members, And Lucy Boynton did a really good job as Freddie Mercury's fiance, Mary, and lifelong friend. Before he accepted that he was gay and started having homosexual relationships, he was with Mary for several years, and they were engaged. Did they ever get married? They don't really cover that in the movie.
I don't.
But they remain friends. Like, they break up and they remain friends, and they had a very loving relationship, and she was really important to him throughout his life, and he was really important to her.
Right.
They were really close, and so that was a big part of the show. And then also kind of the dangerous relationships that Freddie allowed himself to get into.
He really visited some dark places in his spiral downward.
Yeah. But it was nice to know that towards the end of his life, he reconciled with really all of the most important people, his bandmates, with his friend, his true friends.
Yeah. That
he had a nice, loving relationship for the last several years of his life, and that he reconciled with his family and everything. So that's nice, to know that happened.
Hopefully that happened.
Yeah.
I
get the feeling. What I've read about this is that Brian May, like, for instance, has said that he's very happy with the movie, and he feels like it's an accurate
he was one of the
portrayal,
producers, so
of Freddie's life and the things that happened between
them. And their lives in it, yeah.
Right, and not everything's positive, right? Like, not just with Freddie. It's not like they just show the negative things of Freddie. Like, they show other bandmates being jerks and stuff, at times, and that things weren't always smooth sailing between them. And
no, they definitely showed the ugly parts as well. I do think it was a pretty open and honest look at the lives of these people who surrounded Freddie Mercury, and I don't know. I thought it was a really pretty well done show.
Right, and I thought Ellen Leach did a really good job as basically he's the villain of the story.
Yeah.
And
He's a real
you might know him from Downton Abbey, which he doesn't play a villain in Downton Abbey at all. And
no.
And the way that he plays the villain in this one is very subtle, very charming, right? It's not like...
Oh, yeah.
It's not obvious that he's a villain right away, and...
No, he definitely becomes a parasite.
Yeah.
You know, and you realize that you're like, ooh, this guy's a snake.
Yeah, so anyway, so I just thought he did a really good job in that role. And I thought, like I said, I thought everybody was good.
Gwilym Lee played Brian May. Ben Hardy was Roger Taylor, the drummer.
Yeah.
Joseph Mazzola.
Who you might know from Jurassic Park.
Yeah, Little Tim.
Not Little Tim from A Christmas Carol, though.
Yeah,
yeah, he was in it. Yeah, and then, you know, some just actors that you've seen in a lot of things.
Right.
That you might not know by name, like Tom Hollander. And,
yes.
You know, was really good. And
Aidan Gillen.
Yeah, and then of course Mike Myers plays the EMI producer, right? Ray Foster.
Ray Foster,
his name. And that's pretty funny. There's some funny bits there with him.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot. There are some funny parts. There are some like just awe-inspiring parts because of the talent of this group.
Yes.
And the way that they just mix so well together, and what they were able to create musically.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some very sad moments. There's some frustrating moments. You know, it really takes you through a range of emotions.
It really does.
Yeah.
And also, again, if you're a fan of Queen's music, this is definitely a show that you should check out. I mean, it just sounds great in the theater.
Right.
It really does.
Yeah.
It's big, it's loud, and that's, to me, it's kind of how you experience that music. I mean, for me, that's how it was, big and loud, and it was really great stuff. And
I think there's something, you know, a lot of artists experience this with something like that Freddie definitely felt in his life, and he was saying, you know, indicated in the movie that really all of the members of Queen felt this way, that they just kind of didn't quite fit in anywhere, and that they didn't even really make sense with each other as a band. Like if you thought
none of them were alike
as people, right, and their styles and everything, that's like they didn't really make sense together, but somehow it worked. But this definitely is a movie that explores, you know, how difficult it can be to feel like you don't fit in, to feel like there's something wrong with you, you know, you're not like everybody else, and that's
you're an outcast.
And that's a problem, right? Like you feel like an outcast in your culture and your family, you know, and it really explores those...
In your community.
Right,
the same
those
way.
feelings, yeah. So, and I thought it did a good job of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
What rating would you give this show?
Oh.
How many crowns? Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, 3.5 crowns. Maybe like 3 crowns and a tiara. I think that's how I would do it. I mean, not a perfect movie by any stretch, but a good movie and something that is really, you know, you get involved in. I mean, you care about the people that that are being portrayed.
Yeah.
Portrayed. And I don't know, I think the performances are all pretty solid, and some of them are even outstanding.
Right.
And so... yeah, I would recommend this movie.
Yeah, I feel like there were a few things in the movie that I felt, a few scenes and stuff where I just felt like it didn't quite make sense or fit, or the camera,
cinematography was not
quite right, you know. But overall, I thought it was a good movie. Yeah, like you're saying, not a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination, but a really good movie. I mean, it's definitely worth watching. If you are interested in Queen, if you're interested in music, if you're interested in the life of Freddie Mercury, if you like biopics, you know, you're into the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
You want to see a recreation of Queen's performance at Live Aid.
Yes, I will say one thing before we sign off here. Their recreation of the performance at Live Aid was spectacular.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And it was actually a little spoiler here, a great way to end the movie.
Right. Yeah, so anyway, that is it for Drawing Conclusions review of Bohemian Rhapsody. Mm-hmm. We hope that you enjoyed the review and this wonderful picture that Josh did of a classic Freddie Mercury
pose. Iconic pose of Freddie Mercury.
And don't forget to...
like, share,
comment,
and
subscribe.
Also, check us out on Patreon.
Yeah, and there you can get our full spoiler first thoughts from our podcast, and you can get all of our podcast episodes there, as
Yep.
well as free digital prints and things like that.
Yeah, a lot of digital goodies and, other actual prints too.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, thanks.